With a budget of $212 million, alien species with shape-shifting abilities coupled with good actors like Samuel L. Jackson, Emilia Clarke, and Ben Amir, one would think that Marvel would get a comeback. But no, they decided to mess it all up. Now, Samuel L. Jackson has always been fun to watch as Fury, but somehow, Selim manages to do the impossible by making SLJ's performance boring. With the constant reminders from everyone about how far Nick Fury has veered off.
After the blip, you were different.
You were never the same after the blip.
I think Thanos' snap changed you.
Coupled with the deaths of two significant characters, Talos and Maria Hill, as well as the motivational revenge speech from Maria's mother.
Whatever it was, don't let it be for nothing.
One might expect Nick Fury to finally don his eye patch and resurrect his former self. Instead, he trusts the all-powerful serum in the hands of Gaia to trick Gravik, while they both end up in the Gravitron machine. And what was Nick Fury doing? Trying to convince the president that Rhodey is a Skrull, when Sonya could have simply blasted his brains out and revealed enough transformative proof. But nah, they had to spend an extra 10 minutes building up unnecessary tension. So was this Nick Fury's grand final plan? For someone who seemed to have found his mojo in the prior episode, this is the worst plan to execute in a potentially world-threatening situation. Nick Fury is supposed to be the guy who is always 10 steps ahead since he lives in a world of super-powered beings. Instead, we get a Nick Fury who mostly looks and acts lifeless, giving lame excuses to summon the Avengers to a worldwide threat.
This is my war, Rhodey.
A Nick Fury whose emotions lead him to getting captured. And who possesses little to no advanced gadgets. Then there's the modern-day agenda still being pushed by this show. First, we hear Sonya give this sassy speech.
Oh, I don't doubt you for a moment. The males in my species are very similar. If they're not busy gaslighting you, they're threatening you with murder.
And next, we see Gaia straight up kill Gravik with little to no sensible strategic plan. There's no training of her recently gained powers, no weaknesses were exploited, and no contingency plans were executed. She just laser-beamed him because she is independent and powerful. At least with Gravik, his intentions for the all-powerful serum were clear, having been a long-term game plan, so he would have had time to study the powers of each hero. But Gaia is portrayed as too independent and powerful. Another unacceptable aspect of the series was the use of AI to create the title sequence. It wasn't only an insult to artists, but also to the Marvel brand. To make matters worse, we had to endure this lifeless art for a duration of 2 minutes, considering the end credits as well, which totals to 5 minutes and makes up 16% of each episode's runtime. Now, I understand the importance of paying respect and giving credit to the team responsible for this show. But does it truly need to account for 15%? The series attempts to portray a spy thriller narrative, but falls short in its execution. A successful spy thriller should captivate viewers by cleverly diverting their attention through various plot twists, leaving the audience guessing. Take Rhodes, for example. Revealing him as a Skrull prematurely was a missed opportunity. Spy narratives excel in intertwining seemingly unrelated events and characters in unexpected manners. They also include subtle clues that a significant portion of viewers might overlook, yet the spy wouldn't. Unfortunately, the series made it too simple to identify Skrulls, resulting in predictability and diminishing the anticipation for the next episode. Despite being a superhero film with access to advanced technology from Stark Industries and the Wakanda Empire, it still falls short in delivering cutting-edge technology. Even Hawkeye incorporated some of Ant-Man's technology, yet the legendary secret agent remains confined to guns and rocket launchers. With such a substantial budget, Secret Invasion should be on par with or even surpass Men in Black, while exuding James Bond vibes. Despite the fact that the movie required fewer VFX shots, they still managed to create the most horrendous shots in the finale. Can someone explain to me how Ebony Maw's rings are connected to his DNA? Maybe I'm missing something. In addition to that, there's Emilia Clarke's uneven body-to-muscle proportion. And could someone clarify how Drax's DNA carried his tattoos? It's also strange that Selim deflects blame onto the much-ridiculed Super Skrull fight, claiming that it was Kevin Feige's idea from the start. Even if that were true, I would expect the show's director to take some responsibility for the overall poor quality of the show. Also, can someone please explain to me what exactly happened in this escape scene? Let me replay it once more. I must emphasize that I didn't re-edit this clip. I simply removed what appears to be the most poorly represented accident. Another poorly written and dreadful plot point was Gravik's motives. I'm sorry, but I can't buy into the idea of seeking revenge on the entire world due to one man's failure to find you a home. And whose idea was it to use a rubber bag to take down Gravik? That's the most careless and absurd move, especially after seeing this same guy tank a bullet and heal. They genuinely believed they could overpower Gravik with a piece of rubber bag? This plan was the most futile, impractical, ineffective, and pointless one ever. After the battle, we're presented with empty, non-threatening, innocent expressions of violence that fail to evoke any sense of fear in the audience.
What the hell is even that?
They should have increased his muscle mass or used his original face. Either of those choices would have made much more sense than this. Installed somewhere in episode 2 is Rhodey's unrelatable whack jokes.
Slovakia rolls its eyes at me one more time, I'm gonna put on the suit and carpet bomb it.
Let's move on to the positive aspects. Arguably the most enjoyable element of the series was Olivia Colman's portrayal of Sonia Falsworth, the British MI6 equivalent of Nick Fury. She possesses a perfect blend of friendliness and stone-cold efficiency, capable of torturing someone with a smile on her face and effortlessly dismissing any attempts at deception. It's as if she's aware of every possible trick, making any such attempts appear foolish. Additionally, she fights strategically, using her knowledge rather than relying solely on physical strength. I sincerely hope she makes a reappearance in a project that better showcases her talents. Although his motivation had no depth, Kingsley Ben Amir's portrayal of the character, particularly at the finale, was applaudable. His backstory also stirred up some emotions, which was undeniably exceptional. A further enjoyable aspect to watch is the odd couple relationship between Fury and Talos. The chemistry between the two is evident, effectively portraying the depth of their long-standing connection. Another spot-on scene was the love-hate speech battle between Fury and Vara. I have a great deal of respect for that scene, from the build-up of mixed emotions to the shots being fired. It was intense, unpredictable, and undoubtedly one of the best scenes in the show. With all that being said, I have a few questions that need answering. 1. Why didn't this obsessed guy check whether Everett Ross was a Skrull before entrusting him with all the information and years of Skrull research? 2. Why did they mix Hulk, Abomination, and Drax DNA even though Hulk and Abomination are clearly stronger? 3. Why did Gravik fail to verify if Nick Fury is a Skrull? All these questions point to the fact that the writers of this show invested minimal effort into creating a captivating, interconnected series of scenes. It's either they are incredibly lazy, or the MCU is providing insufficient time and rushing them, or both. What's even more puzzling is that despite the potential threat from a supremely powerful alien, stronger than most Avengers, and the US president declaring war on all alien races, Fury just takes off in his spaceship with his Skrull wife in tow. Plain and simple, Secret Invasion is the epitome of failure. Similar to recent movies, it appears to be another Marvel property tailored for swift consumption, relying on the hope that you'll remain loyal until the next major multiplex release. While Rotten Tomatoes rated it at 66%, after carefully considering the substantial negatives and positives, a more accurate rating would be around 34%. Stay blessed.